Welcome back. You're watching Europe This Week. French and German commuters have been at the mercy of transport strikes this week, with French workers taking to the streets in protest at planned pension reforms. In Germany, train drivers walked out after they said pay demands were not met. A parallel strike on freight routes has also cost Europe's largest economy over 50 million euros a day. But none of this was able to mar the dawn of a new era in high-speed rail transport, with the first Eurostar train departing from its new home at London St Pancras station on Wednesday. The journey between the British capital and Paris now just takes 2 hours 15 minutes, and Eurostar is hoping the combination of hassle-free check-in and greener travel will attract airline customers onto the rails. Let's talk about this now. We're joined by Paul O'Neill, Director of Transport at Deloitte. Paul, how significant a leap forward is it, the opening of St Pancras and this new high-speed link between Britain and the continent?
At a building level, the construction is a giant success. It's a huge project brought in under budget and in time, which we don't see that often these days. But that's that specific success. In terms of what is the impact in strategic travel terms, well, we were already 3 hours or less than 3 hours away from Paris, and there was the old 3-hour rule, so it hasn't actually made that much difference. What we're seeing is an incremental, step-by-step improvement in the service. Eurostar is very much business-friendly. They've changed the timetable so you can start that much earlier in Paris. Yep. Paris coming here is easy because they've got the hour advantage. Yep. The Wi-Fi may be coming, double-decker trains may be coming. So we're seeing incremental improvements, but fundamentally the new St Pancras link doesn't make a big difference to the travel strategy across Europe.
But what it seems to make a difference to is the fact that Britain is now linked up to this high-speed link that operates around Europe. We could be seeing other European capitals, other European cities now within range.
Now, this is the exciting bit. You're absolutely right. The fact that London's linked in, as it was before, London's linked there now, what we're looking at is a very fast growth of a European high-speed network. The Germans and the French have been there already. The Austrians have been there already. The Spanish and the Italians, to a lesser extent, have been there already. We're soon to see the completion of the link up to Amsterdam. There's a gap in the network from Antwerp to Amsterdam. It's a bit late, but they will get there maybe next October. So we're seeing this network, and this is a very exciting development across the whole of the region. Very exciting.
In terms of the strategy from here, the train operators now obviously need to get all of these extra little bits in place so they can actually operate a sort of seamless link around Europe. The politicians, are they on board with this concept?
Strangely, and I'm waiting to be disappointed by this, but it does look like business and European politics are working loosely hand in hand. European Union have been pressurizing countries to, I won't call it open, but liberalize the national rail. So foreign trains can run in Germany. We've had a bit of that already. They want to see more. The German Deutsche Bahn, for example, European giant, they've had long interest in Italy, in the Netherlands, in Denmark. They've got some agreements with France. I don't think they've got any trains running in France yet, but it's on the right tracks. Sorry, bad pun there.
Yes.
What we've also
let it go.
What we've also seen just last summer, just the summer just gone, is Rail Team being formed. A Rail Team is an informal agreement to cooperate between 7 of the major rail companies. So Eurostar's there, Germans are there, the French are there, the Austrian, Swiss, Spanish, and I think the Netherlands are joining. And their objective is to develop the through ticketing, agree something around the power sources, which is important technology, the signals issues, which have been rumbling for about 30 years already, but there's now a commercial imperative with a real external competitor, which may force all these different parties to want to work together more closely. So it's very exciting.
Presumably, every time we get another security problem at a major airport, it only plays into the hands of the train operators.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that the railway people are breaking out the champagne when there's a scare, but it's just the balance of business. I mean, to some extent, they're perceived to be less vulnerable, the railways. Aviation is very much dependent upon the crossing point, the airports, and that vulnerability plays in the favour of the rail business. Absolutely right.
You mentioned Deutsche Bahn there. Is there a possibility that we could see other operators running trains through the tunnel as well?
It's not planned today. There's no open document saying, well, actually we're going to have TGV and the ICE trains. And it may be that Rail Team, this group of 7 national rail, they may say, well, it's not operationally advantageous to do that. But they may find that it does make sense. It may make sense. You know, they can't just say, well, you keep your own market and you can have some of our market, there has to be some give and take. So it's not illogical to think we'll see that. In terms of power pickup, the engineering isn't hugely complicated compared to what the engineers can already do. We may find the biggest hurdle is just through ticketing. Germans through France and then into the UK just can't agree on a split for ticketing. But there's such fundamental commercial pressure. If I can get on a train in Cologne, which frankly is very close to us, and get on a train in Cologne and get off in London, or maybe get off in Birmingham, or maybe get off in Manchester, that really does start to undermine what looks like a monopoly that the airlines have at the moment.
The trains are going fast. Can they go faster?
Typically, when we talk about high-speed rail, certainly in Europe, we're looking at around 300 kilometers an hour. We have one episode in the world of magnetic levitation train, very exciting technology over in Shanghai. They go nearly 400 kilometers an hour. But just again, early in this summer, the French with Thales and SNCF were testing a 550 kilometer an hour train. Now, if you think, I might travel by train if I can do it in 3 or maybe 4 hours, otherwise I'll fly. If your train's now going 550 kilometers an hour, you can get around most of Europe.
Yeah.
Very, very different change, very different picture of the whole market.
Low-cost carriers, watch out. Paul, great to see you. Thank you very much indeed for coming in and seeing us. Paul O'Neill joining us from Deloitte. Staying in the transport sector, Gala Capital